Hello, I'm Jordan. This is Trent, and we're friends. And we do a podcast together called Delusion, and you're listening to it. Congratulations.
You've made it.
Technology, huh? Look at us. Look, check us out. You too. Check us out, man. Anyway.
Dude, I got sunburned from playing basketball earlier. I got this red rosiness in my cheeks.
Yeah, dude. You were fucking silky jumpers. You're just silky jumpers, dude.
It's because I'm white. I got all this. You can tell between now and between the last podcast that I've gotten some sun.
Yeah. You got that Larry Bird skin tone. Yeah. Larry the Legend.
He is like as close to you can be, like a ginger, but not be a ginger.
Oh, yeah.
He's got ginger skin, but like sandy blonde hair. He's
also one of the closest you could be to a half bird human. He's got all
face
he's
and
got
all,
very
monkey, a big
bird-like features. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Very good trash talker too. Did you ever hear when he went into the the 3-point shooting contest? And he walked into the locker room with all the contestants and said, "Who's coming in second?"
That's awesome. That's ballsy.
But he probably said it like, "Who's coming in second?"
Who's coming in second? I'm from Indiana.
You bunch Hoosier. Of sons of bitches.
I'm a Hoosier.
Do you think he called people sons of bitches?
Sons of bitches. He might have. What I always heard about him
Have you ever addressed a group of sons of bitches? In that way? Like a group of them? Do you call them sons of bitches? I haven't had a group of sons of bitches. I've only had one. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What I know about Larry Bird is that he would tell you what was going to happen at the end of the game. Or at the end of a quarter, he'd be like, "I'm about to turn around and post up on you and just sink this left hook. Watch."
Yeah.
Then he would do it to people all the fucking time.
Yeah. You know who else did that? Michael Jordan. Oh. Michael Jordan one time, I can't remember who he was playing or who I heard the story from. It might have been Alex Smith. Used to play for the Hawks. Oh, you sophisticated son of a bitch. There, see, I can only do one son of a bitch. It's usually never more than one. Yeah, that's just a chillable red
very
from Franzia.
Oh my gosh.
It's grape juice. That makes you feel fun. It's fun grape juice. That's all.
I haven't had sweet wine in a while. I think I've only been drinking the dry stuff.
I'm a big old pussy when it comes
That's
to
way
wine.
better. That's not nearly as tart as...
Yeah, and last night, I'm just now halfway through the box able to drink it without a little bit of Sierra Mist in it. I'm such
I bet
a
that's
pussy.
Really good. Is it good?
Yeah, but with wines, I don't know why.
Anything new is weird.
Well, to me, the aftertaste tastes like cheese to me. If it's dry and I don't like that, I don't get it.
I don't like mixing alcohol with food.
Yeah, I don't either.
People are like, "This would pair really well with a nice cheese." No, I don't want to eat anything.
You know what my problem is I have an eating issue. I am an overeater. So if I'm drinking and I eat, I'm going to lose my buzz and then I'm going to go to sleep because I don't know how to just pick at stuff. I'd rather just drink until I'm done. Excuse me. Until my buzz is where I'm content, and then maybe I'll eat at the end of the night when the party's over. Because I know after I eat, I'm going into a food coma for 14 hours. Part
of being old is that I get acid reflux so bad.
Oh yeah.
And if I eat greasy food, like if I get, people get real drunk and go to Taco Bell, I'm to the point now where I'm responsible, and I only eat Taco Bell when I'm sober.
Yeah. Well, for me,
I will be up all night. I got to get like 4 pillows under me to sleep like sitting up.
Yeah.
Or I'll just like be like throwing up on like.
Damn, that is
awful.
Bad.
It's so bad.
I have really bad like heartburn, where I have like a bottle of heartburn pills that I take to work with me. I have
Zantac
one
and Prilosec.
I have one in my
OTC.
Underwear drawer, like right next to my bed. So in the middle of the night when I get it, I'll just pop those suckers dry now. I just swallow them dry in the middle of the night.
You're a man. I can't do pills.
Well, I do it all the time. That's it. I hate pills, dude. I don't take anything for headaches. I don't take anything for sickness. I hate pills. I used to have a pill problem, so I hate them. But fucking omeprazole, I'll pop them suckers like all day long. The one that they say you're not supposed to take. But I don't think like, for me, if I'm drunk or hungover, I prefer to eat shit like Taco Bell. I like the grease
hungover.
after.
I gotta have fried food. That's what gets me through.
Yeah, but if I know, usually before I even start drinking, I'll pop a heartburn pill because I'm like, I already know where this is gonna go. Actually, I don't. That's why I'm taking one.
My thing is I just don't eat after a certain time. If I'm gonna be drinking, I'll stop eating. I won't eat after 5, and I'll just whatever calorie consumption I get will be from alcohol.
Yeah, that's healthy. That's the best way when you're in weight loss. I do the same thing. I do the same thing. It's terrible.
I value sleep more than I do a good buzz, I think. I would rather sleep good throughout the night than be like having the spins and having to get up and...
You know what it is? It's your schedule. You live a normal... Well, now you do. You used to live the same lifestyle as me where you worked overnights. For me, because I work overnights, I literally need half the sleep I feel a normal person needs.
Yeah, and that's sad. Because
sometimes I sleep 5 to 4 hours a night for 5 nights in a row.
Yeah, and your body wants to be awake during the daytime.
Yeah.
Like, just because that's how it's supposed to be.
I just wake up.
Yeah.
I just wake up. I go to bed.
You'll be fine after 4 or 5 hours? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that through school, dude. I did overnights. I did 8 to 8 in the night shift. Or no, I didn't. I'd do midnight to 8. And then I'd go to school at 9. And I'd go 9 to 4, and I'd come home and I'd sleep like 5 to 9 or 5 to 10 p.m. and I'd get up and go back to work at 12. Yeah. It was a nightmare. That was rough. Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the majority of the time, I get off at 8 in the morning, and then I usually have stuff to do in the morning time, so I'm usually off at 8, and then it's however many hours of whatever kind of bullshit I have to do. And then I end up maybe falling asleep at 1, 2 o'clock, and then I have to be at work by 6. So I have to get up, I have to shower, I have to do, so I'm getting 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep maybe. So, but I'm not tired. Like it's not like I'm moping around or it's almost like
that physically exhausted, tired, where you can't really straighten your back up. And you're
the first 30 minutes to an hour after waking up, I'm in pretty bad shape. I'm pretty tired. Like I want to go back to sleep for sure, but pretty much once I get through that window, pretty much once I brush my teeth, it's no looking back after that point. I'm moving.
What topics did you pick for today?
I picked a couple of them. The one I remember the most is I was just watching some stuff on YouTube about teammates, and I was thinking of like some of the best and worst teammates I've ever had. Do you have any of those?
I was saying earlier, worst teammate. My best teammate just came to mind, and it was our shortstop we had in high school, because he could pitch, and if I was playing first base, I don't remember him ever making a bad throw. Mm-hmm. Like not once, and we played all 4 years of high school together, and I could just hold my glove up and he'd be like, spotting every time. Best teammate was him. And then
because of his ability to play the sport, or did you hang out with him off the field ever?
Because we'd make each other laugh while he was pitching, because he was like a shy country kid that he only played baseball, so he was really, really good at baseball.
Right.
So he was like shy and stuff, and I would be like quoting song lyrics while he was pitching, trying to make him laugh, and you could see him, in the wind-up, just like trying not to laugh. Oh, it's great. I had a lot of good times in baseball. And then worst teammates was the entire freshman class of 2011, because none of those bastards could catch a fly ball.
You're terrible.
None of them sons of bitches could catch a fly ball.
A group of them.
Yes. A group of them. That's a group of sons of bitches right there.
Bitches. I'm going to get in on it too.
Oh, and they used to drive me nuts because it'd be easy fly balls. It's not like ones you have to run and dive for. They'd be like, it would go up so high, you'd have plenty of time to go get it, and they would run too far forward.
Yeah.
And it'd be right over their head.
Like me when I try to play in the outfield.
Oh,
as an infielder, I'm so bad out there. I have no idea where the ball's going. I'm so bad at the trajectory when it's in the air.
Well,
but I never played out there really.
Yeah. Multiply that times like all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, 3 of them. That's pretty bad. At least I know
our left fielder was our running back, and he was really fast, but he could get to the ball once he missed it.
Yeah.
He had the speed, I guess, to keep him to 2 bases. But it was bad.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have a terrible teammate.
Well, my worst teammate, I don't want to say his actual name, but I played with him my 8th grade year of NJB basketball, and I played I ended up making like this travel team. They called it All Net or whatever they called it.
The Swishers.
It's basically the All-Star team, essentially, but it's one notch above it because it's a district team instead of just a there's the all-star team from the league that you played in. So basically they had like a Westminster League, a Huntington Beach League, a Santa Ana League. All of the cities had their own league that had 16 teams that played, and then there was an all-star team of them, and then there was an all-star team of them that went to all of those cities combined. So I was on that team with this kid named Brennan, and he was in 8th grade. He could dunk. He was a white kid. He had like...
He could dunk in 8th grade?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, he couldn't dunk in the game, but he would like dunk during warm-ups.
So he had to be like running full speed to do it?
Yeah, but he was still in 8th grade. He was 13 years old and dunking a basketball. None of us could do it. We were... And the league I played in was in Westminster, which was pretty much all Mexicans and Vietnamese kids. And me and Brendan. So, I said his name. Fuck. Anyway, he don't know who I am, so... But well, I'm sure he's not listening. He knows who I am, but he's not listening. But he was our wing / guard player, but he was the tallest kid on the team. So, and I played point guard. I played point guard forever. Every team I've ever been on. So, but I I'm only saying that because at that time, even in 8th grade, I started playing when I was 7. So even at that time, I've been playing point guard for 6 or 7 years already. I'm still young. I mean, but I only played this position. So I'm trying to explain to him, like, I got here because I'm the best point guard in the thing. So let's run a pick. He would refuse to run a pick and roll with me because he didn't like the idea of not being he just wanted to run ISOs. He just wanted to run isolation plays. He wanted, backdoor screens. He wanted to be freed up over the top. He wanted to do everything but what a tall person was supposed to do. And we would lose games because of it. And he was the only teammate I've ever had that I got into like a pushing match with. Good?
I heard music.
Oh, it's probably Amanda in the fucking living room. But he was like the only teammate I've ever had that I got in like a physical like pushing match with, like during a timeout that I called. But anyway, he was my worst teammate. I had to play with him for a long time, so that's the only reason I remember, because I remember every game we had to like sell him on why he should be doing the things that he should be doing, like playing fucking defense and like boxing out and not trying to run out on the break. We're like, dude, you're 13 years old. You're like 6'3".
Go get the rebound.
Get the fucking rebound. I'll wait for you. I'd even tell him, like, dude, get the rebound, outlet it to me. I will wait for you to run down the floor to start running the offense. If that's what you want. Yeah. Because he's so worried about, like, he's not going to get the ball to score. Which is fine, because he was good, dude. That's the worst part about him. That's why I hated him the most, because he was good.
So he did what he wanted to anyways.
And once out of 8 times where he was like, just give me the ball. This dude can't hold me. Give me the ball. I will score. He would do it 1, maybe twice out of 8 times after calling for the ball. And then the 1 or 2 times he does it, he's all, I fucking told. And they always call timeout after, because it is a dope-ass play. The play he makes, the 2 out of 8 or the 1 out of 8 he does make, he ISOs that dude and just shakes him down or just bodies him and fucking scores on him like he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But he is talking mad shit like during the timeouts that the other team calls, and we're trying to give him high fives. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, dude.
He's like, it's about time you give me the ball.
Yeah, well, he's like, I fucking told you, just give me the ball. And I'm like, okay, dude, I gave you the ball. Like, good job. Like, but still also run the fucking offense.
Congratulations on your 25% success rate.
Which I would never say to him because we're in the middle of a game. But at the end of the game, I'm like, bro, you're not good. Like, he was like, I've gotten in so many things after the game where like, I'll play you one-on-one right now and I'll beat you.
I think if you run, like, getting the ball requires that you run the offense sometimes. If you follow what you're supposed to do, it's going to lead to buckets. It's going to lead to you getting the ball. It's like defensive lineman. If you just play technique, it's going to take you right to the running back.
Right.
It's going to take you exactly where you want to go.
Right. Well, and from a basketball standpoint too, he didn't come from a team that was primarily small people. He came from a league where there was a bunch of tall Nordic kids, all rich white kids that were tall. So he didn't understand that all of
Connor,
us, yes, but he didn't understand that all of us young, or not, shouldn't say young, we're all the same age, but all of us shorter kids that came from Westminster that weren't superstars like him that couldn't dunk. It's like we ran a Spurs style offense. Swing the ball shit. Our coach was like, never dribble. Yeah. Never dribble. Pass the ball.
So many passes before you take a shot.
5 at least. Every play. 5. Every possession was 5 passes. So
ours was 5 or something like that.
And it fucking works. It works.
Mm-hmm.
It works when we'd almost run like a 3-2 offense. Like me in the middle, 2 dudes on the wing like you're supposed to, and 2 bigs. Bigs come up and set screens, and they roll or they pop. I'm up at the top, so they'll set a screen sometimes the dudes will drop in the corner, bigs will set a screen, wing guys come up over the top, I pass to them, they shoot or they don't. Next big guy comes, sets a screen for me, I go back door, I get it in the corner, I shoot it or I don't. After that screen, big dude rolls to the middle and I give it to him. It worked almost every time. It was basically a triangle offense. So, but he was like, nah. Like, he would get the ball at the top, like, on the shoulder, on the wing.
Not having it.
He would get the ball on the wing. Dude would come up to set a screen for him, and he'd shake the screen off. And I'm like, okay. Now, let me explain something to you. Especially if you're a young now I'm getting fired up. If you're a young basketball player listening to this, which there probably isn't any, but I'm gonna go on a rant anyway. The only time you shake off a fucking screen is if the matchup you have doesn't make sense to switch. You know what I'm saying? So if me and you, who are similar in size, play a similar style of basketball, if you come and set a screen on me, I know that the probability of your man, if you're playing up a position from me, is probably going to be slower than me. You know what I'm saying? That's the time you switch, when the guy is big and slow and you can blow by him. Or vice versa. Or you're the big guy, the screen is going to be a smaller dude that you can back down, which is the point of a pick and roll, to switch players. So now the big guy has a point guard on him so he can post him up and score. At the end of the day, he's getting the ball. Brendan is getting the fucking ball at the end of the day. All he has to do is set the screen, seal my little point guard off, and fucking take him to the basket, and I'm gonna bounce, and it's gonna be over. But so I guess what I'm saying is, never shoo a fucking screen off unless you're scared of the dude guarding the dude screening you. You know what I'm saying? It should be a fear thing. Yeah. It should be like, no. Don't bring that big motherfucker out here. I don't want him. Take him out of the way. That's the only time you should be, Or it's like, that dude's a beast defensively. I don't even want him on the ball on me at all as a point guard. He's just like Kawhi Leonard. His big old baseball mitts are going to swallow me whole, and he's going to scare me. So I don't want him. I'd rather take this little dude, who I'm stronger than, and I'll run, worst case scenario, I run an ISO at the end of the play. I'd rather y'all be running around over there. Get that big guy the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So that's my coaching. I should have a coach's corner for the day, but nobody would like it. Except for maybe, I don't even think you would like it that much.
Coach's corner.
Anyway, my best teammate ever was Matt Ord, if you're listening. He was my 4. I played 1. Pick and roll all day, baby. We weren't even that much different in height, but he was like way fucking stronger than me, and he was like Karl Malone, dude. He might not have been, actually more like fucking Charles Barkley. Because he was just strong, talked a lot of shit, bodied people up, was buff.
I told you I was going to back him down.
Yeah, exactly. He's a big Hawaiian Filipino fucking.
I'm from Hawaii, man. Give him the ball so I can back him down.
That's a good Charles Barkley. I've also hung out with Matt a lot off the court. I boxed him in his front yard a bunch of times, and we were buddies for sure.
Did you ever do the slap boxing? Or you just try and slap the shit out of each other?
Yeah.
Slapping is the worst.
It hurts just as bad. That's the
thing.
I
would say slapping hurts worse than a fist.
What hurts your ego more? I'd almost rather take a fist and go down than take a smack and just get pissed off. Or, like just...
Well, okay, so if you're like slipping punches, like you're getting a smaller amount hitting you. And when your adrenaline's pumping, you can kind of handle it. But if someone slaps the fuck out of you and gets from here to your ear,
Yeah.
And all of that stinging all of this part of your face, just stinging like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had a friend that used to slap people when he'd get in fights. They'd be like, stop fucking slapping me. And he
was
just
he fucking one of the Diaz brothers?
No.
Stockton Slap?
Oh.
Those dudes cracked me up.
Yeah, no, he would slap people. It was really ridiculous because people would get mad at him. And he'd be like, well, don't fucking fight me.
Yeah. You want to do a thing now? You got a topic? You have a topic?
What was my topic? I sent you one.
Something about Satan.
Oh!
It's gonna go deeper, but I thought that was I know what it is. I just thought.
Well,
that
we recently switched churches to the. Just kidding. So Christian Bale was getting an award at Golden Globes.
Oh yeah.
Emmys,
sure.
whatever it is that they have for movies.
Oscars.
And he just basically said, well, I'd like to thank Satan for giving me inspiration for this role. Not thanking Satan for the success. And like, conservative people lost their shit over this. And they were like, who's thanking Satan? We gotta pray for him and all this. Sorry.
No, that was probably exactly
Conservatives
what
are probably mad
like.
I used a lisp. They're gonna be like, "Mine gay.
We can't be gay.
Can't be gay." I don't know what's wrong with being gay anymore.
I don't
People
either.
get so. Christian Bale said, "I want to thank Satan for the inspiration to play Dick Cheney."
He's making it.
I haven't watched the movie yet, Vice. I really want to.
Dude, I am so tired of fucking people attacking people for trying. Was it a joke?
Yeah, it was a joke. You could tell he was laughing.
I just want to make sure. I already had the connotation.
It just shows
but
you that conservatives
are
are the same at being offended by things as other people are.
Hey, guess what? If you're one of the people that said that shit about him or Kevin Hart or Ellen, which we're about to talk about in a second, fuck you. Is that clear? That's how I fucking feel. Dude,
you're going after everybody right now.
I went off on my poor wife in the car today about some shit like this. I cannot stand people who hunt people down, who are the same people that paid time and time and again to watch those motherfuckers on stage or watch them in a movie or whatever the fuck. And then hear them say some shit trying to be funny and go off. Guess what? Whatever you conservative I'm trying really hard to not be a cusser.
It's everybody though, because it's not conservative people getting mad at Kevin Hart.
It's not fucking me.
Yeah.
It's not me.
But conservative people are mad at Christian Bale, but it's the opposite. Conservative people won't be mad about someone making jokes that are homophobic.
Conservative people won't.
Yeah, they don't care about that. That's all on like the liberal side.
So the conservative people were about the religious thing that he said. Okay.
But it's everybody. That's what I'm saying is like they're
you're just
all
as bad.
The same amount. Yes, they're all just as bad and the same amount of being offended as everybody else.
But the liberal people who is the opposite side. Who
they're the ones you can't say anything around.
To me it doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative or gay or black or Chinese or I'm not prejudiced against anybody, and I'm also not prejudiced against the people who are causing these problems. I don't care what you look like. Still, fuck you for being that way.
That's fair.
What? I don't understand what the gain is. I don't know any of those people's names that said those things about, that said the negative shit about Kevin Hart. That dude that went off on fucking Ellen for accepting an apology from Kevin Hart for the shit he said. And then now people are saying,
oh wait, Ellen accepted apology? Ellen is fantastic. I love Ellen.
And people are going in on her for
a good-hearted person. She doesn't deserve that, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. People are going in on her for accepting an apology from somebody who said faggot.
That's an icky word.
But it was in 2011. He was trying to be funny. Ellen, who is a stand-up comedian who understands the shit I've said time and time and again on this podcast. If your job is to be funny, or you're like us where you're trying to make your job being funny, you have to push the envelope, or you're just saying the same dumb shit. The whole point is a shock factor, right? That's the way I explain it to my wife and my family. Why I say awkward shit out loud in front of people is because I like the shock factor. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that half the people are gonna laugh, a quarter of them are gonna go like, oh yeah, that's what Amanda does. Is oh,
they do the covered laughter like
yeah, and a quarter of them are gonna be mad at me, and I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. Mm-hmm. Because the people that laugh at me, or the people that think I'm funny, or even the people that like it's close, those are the people I want to follow us. Those are the people I'm interested in talking to. I don't want nothing. If you're one of those people that attacks people for saying shit that's outlandish, then don't fucking watch. We only have fucking 5 people listening anyway. And if 1 or fucking 4 of the 5 of you is like that, then I'd rather just have 1 and not have. And I can't stand them. And I embrace being attacked by somebody like that one day, because I am going to go the fuck off. I'm going to blast that person out in front of everybody, and I'm going to roast the shit out of them, and I'm going to find the most offensive fucking things I can say about that person, and I'm going to light him up on camera, and he don't even have to sit here. It'll just be me, solo podcast, and I'll just, dude, dry style. I won't even spit on it. I'm just going to jam it in there.
That was literally what I was thinking when you went like this. Like you were, yeah. I imagined you punching down into a butt.
Yeah, I'm not even going to spit on it. I'm just going to jam it in there, dude.
That's the worst kind. I've had one you spit on it. It's really not that bad.
Ellen is trying to forgive a fellow comedian, a fellow entertainer, a genuinely good person, Kevin Hart, is trying to back that person up. She even called them, the people at the Oscars, because, he lost that hosting spot. She called them and was like, yo, you guys are being, you gotta let this shit go. She, in a gay person, one of the most, if not the most famous gay person in the world, is saying like, yo, gay people, it's cool. That's not what he meant, That's not what he meant.
And I think you have to be able to forgive people when they say sorry, because it takes a lot to be able to say sorry.
So you're going to go after the person that accepted the apology. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway,
that's fair. Next
topic before I go crazy. So when is this Kanye Joe Rogan podcast supposed to happen?
Ooh.
Why are they doing this to us? I thought it was going to be this next one. Joe Rogan posted 2 other podcasts. I don't care. Sorry, guess whoever they are. I know Dean Thomas. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy, but that other guy, I don't. Whatever, man.
Probably some physicist.
Some fucking smart guy. Some guy who's way too smart who's gonna bore me under the table. Where the fuck is Kanye?
Who almost bores Joe Rogan under the table sometimes. He'll be like, I can't wrap my mind around that.
And I know that he smoked weed during it. I would have to, and I still wouldn't be able to. I'd still be like, what?
Here's what's happening with Kanye.
Do you like farts and dicks and stuff? Like, what's your thing? That's what I want to know.
They're bringing Kanye in every day, and they're interviewing him, and they're trying to figure out which Kanye they're going to get for that interview. So if he's feeling saucy and he's like, You don't know Joe Rogan. You don't know what I've been through, Joe Rogan. They're like, all right, we're going to wait before you don't have the answers. Joe.
You don't have the answers, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So if he's like that when he comes in, they're just going to be like, you're not going to see Joe today. Come back tomorrow.
No. Joe will be like, let him in. Ha-kukoosh, head kick, triangle choke. What's up, Kanye? You were worried about Drake beating you up? You came in here with this 52-year-old TRT-filled fucking rhinoceros? Chimpanzee is probably what he'd like to be called. Joe Rogan loves him.
And that's one of his things that's on the...
He loves them, dude. He knows everything about them. It's his favorite thing. And I get it.
I've heard him talk about studies with chicks quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm more of a bear fan.
Bear. Yeah, I like bears.
I got a big bear tattoo on my back. When I lose a little bit of weight, I'll show you guys that. I got fat on my back, too. It's not cool.
Oh, let's see what my favorite animal is. I like pandas. Pandas really reflect me, I think, because they don't like to do shit and they're just chilling. And
but pandas also can still fuck you up.
Yeah, I used to always tell people you
got a temper though, I think. Do you have a temper?
Not anymore. I might have had a temper when I was younger. I don't really have one anymore.
No.
If I do get upset, I'm like more snarky.
I feel like I've seen you get upset at softball practices. Like get a little frustrated or fired or riled up.
That's at myself. I'm pretty hard on myself.
Yeah.
If I'm fucking up, I'm like, fuck this.
I think it starts there, and then
I'm gonna retire.
And then
right
a teammate will say something or try some bullshit, and you get kind of, no, we're not doing you, which is fine.
Oh.
Yeah, you get a little riled up at some of the teammates sometimes at practice, especially if they're doing like they're not.
It's mostly Jason.
Yeah. It is.
We should do this. I'm like, I really don't want to do that.
Well, I get fired up at Jason because it's funny every once in a while to fuck with people from the outfield, but not every pitch. You know what I'm saying?
He's so bad, yeah. Because
I love him to death, and I will
stoke the fire and try and get him to talk shit to people who are batting too.
When we play other teams, I want him to do that.
Yeah.
But at practice, bro, come on, man. Let us fucking play.
Come on, man.
Let us play, man.
Oh.
Be helpful. Even when we're being competitive, man, it's still all right to be like, yo, that was a good hit. You don't have to be like,
piece of shit.
Not there.
Lucky motherfucker.
Not a danger though, was it?
Not a danger.
It's like, okay,
it was a grounder.
but it was a really good hit. Anyway, what else? I don't have my phone on me. My phone's over there. I think those are the topics that I have.
I have a funny story.
I have
we were at New Year's Eve not too long ago, and all these people were talking about how their weekend went because New Year's Eve was on a Monday. They're like, we did this all weekend. And I had this really nerdy moment where I was like thinking in my head, I was like, that's really cool and everything, but I killed a fucking dragon in D&D.
Yeah.
In Dungeons and Dragons. I actually fought one. And then I said that out loud, and Jasmine's like, you're so dumb. I was like, still better than whatever the fuck she's talking about. I don't know her.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that to people a lot lately. Like, I want to interrupt people's stories a lot lately.
I'm going to let you finish, but
I have a really bad urge. Oh, are you in the middle of still telling your thing?
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay.
That was basically that story.
Okay. Yeah, I have.
And then I felt really nerdy afterwards. I was like,
No, dude, that's your thing. Hey, that's your thing, bro. Just like the gays.
Tattoo stories, texting,
Shout out
and
to
driving.
your mom's house. Oh, texting and driving is another one.
And tattoo stories.
Okay.
I'll let you pick on that one.
Texting and driving. It's a common topic talked about. Nobody likes it. People do it.
I do it. I'm guilty.
But do you drive like a fucktard when you're?
No, I drive. I don't go past the speed limit.
Do you go under the fucking speed limit?
No.
Because that's worse.
Yeah. I'm at the speed limit.
I'd rather you text and speed than text and go under the speed limit. If you're gonna do it, don't be a pussy.
I'm also not all over the road.
I don't text and drive. I text at stop signs sometimes. I text at stop lights, but I never text while my vehicle is moving. I don't.
That's admirable.
Well, it's because I've had a lot of people get hurt doing dumb shit. Like, I know a lot of people that have gotten hurt or even died from shit like that. So, which, I don't expect anyone to give a fuck about that. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying, if you can't even drive the speed limit because you're texting, you're driving under the speed limit, then maybe not fucking text. Or get the fuck out of the way.
I think it's easier to get away with in rural areas, because in the city, I don't text and drive in the city.
Yeah.
Jasmine does the GPS. I follow it and we go to where we're going, and that's it. Around here, you may not see a car on the road for a while. The roads are pretty straight wherever they're going. Dude, everybody's got to take a shit. So
yeah, that's what it is. Man. You gotta wash your butt.
And around here, I think you can. I don't want to make the case for texting and driving because obviously it's bad. You are distracted when you're driving.
Well, I'm not telling you to make your case.
But
do your thing.
I do it quite often, and I'm always driving. I'm always on the road. So there's someone or something I don't have to text, but I do. But the only problem I have is sometimes I'll get on. I've never crossed midline, but I have gotten onto the shoulder. Yeah. The rumble strips will let me know, which is good. I'm glad they're there. And in Oklahoma, they've added. Have you noticed they added all of them in the center line?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was a good addition.
Which is just making texting and driving safer. Which, you know what? I'm cool with it. My thing is, dude, I don't care what you're doing in your car. As long as you can do it and still do what you're supposed to do while driving a car. You're still going 35 miles an hour. Or even if you're going 5 miles under the speed limit, if texting you is doing enough to where you're not even going at the flow of traffic, that means that that means that driving has now become the secondary thought in your brain, right? If your speed limit lowers that far, that means that you are now no longer driving this vehicle is no longer your primary focus. The phone is. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. I get it, dude. If you can text and drive and like you know where your buttons are and you can still do the thing and you look up every once in a while and you know texting takes longer than it's supposed to when you're driving, that I personally don't care. Until my kids get on the road and they're driving their own vehicles, I don't care. But
there's other stuff you can do on your phone, like reading stories. Well, like the phone, you can do anything on smartphones nowadays, but checking emails, all that other shit. But if I have to let someone know where I'm at, where I'm going to be, I've texted Patience while I was on the road. I've texted Jasmine, but I do avoid reading stories and watching videos and all that other shit.
Reading stories?
You know.
While driving a car? Dude, if your text message is long enough where I have to scroll, you're going to have to wait, Playboy. It's not that important to me. If it is important, you can call me. That's how a lot of the time when I'm driving, somebody will text me and I will just call them. Mm-hmm. Because I'm an adult and I like to talk to people. I have no problem calling people. Mm-hmm. But especially while I'm driving. If I'm driving by myself, I live in 2019. My fucking car has Bluetooth. I could talk to you through my car.
Hands free. I
don't have to even do it. I could drive with two hands and talk on the phone, which is what it's there for. Mm-hmm. So if I'm texting you and it's not important, then I don't need to text you right now. If what I'm texting you is important enough to where I feel like I need to respond right now, then I will call you. And if for whatever other reason it's an emergency, I'm not going to be texting you. Or you're in a doctor's office, or whatever the situation is where I would have to text you, I would wait till I got to stop sign or pull over.
So what prompted this to be a category for today? Did you get stuck behind somebody?
I got stuck behind about 14 people yesterday, to the point to where my wife told me about 7 times today that I was really spicy yesterday, is how she explained it.
Spicy.
It threw my whole day off. Like, I told Amanda, like, I'm going to roll the window down and I'm about to fucking freak out on people. Like, I was losing my mind. Like, I was fired up. Well, I get in fired up moods anyway, and because of the way I am, people black out when they fight people. I black out with my words. So I black out and say things that I really shouldn't say. And she knows that about me. So when dude, if I roll my window down on you in traffic, it's usually, I'm usually not gonna. I usually go pretty hard if I'm gonna do it.
And you're from California. Does that play anything into it? Traffic there.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it, because I'm used to moving a lot faster. But it's not even about moving faster, because out here I drive the speed limit, maybe a little bit faster. I'm not a speeder. But if you're not going the speed limit, I get pissed off if you're going under. And that's what?
Understandable.
You know what? Even if you're an old person, I don't fucking care if you're old. I don't care that you're afraid to go fast. I don't give a fuck. Get out of the road. If you're scared to go 35 miles an hour, then get the fuck out of the car and stop driving. There's Lyft here now. You better get a smartphone, Grandma, and figure it out. Because to me, it's rude. The fact that you think that I should just accept the fact that you're old and you drive slower, that's rude. Why do I have to just accept that?
I agree with that completely. Because
then you should accept that I'm going to roll my window down and stick my middle finger in your old face. Because that's how I drive. Because I'm young and I'm an asshole and that's how I drive. You should accept that. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Maybe not accept it, but then...
You're wasting my time, which is mean to me. That's rude. So, I'm going to flip you off while I speed past you. And you're going to have to eat that.
This younger generation.
You're going to have to eat it, Grandma. You're going to have to eat that finger.
I can't believe he did that to me.
Yeah, and you can take your shocked... You could take that shit and shove it, dude. I don't care.
There's no one that's safe today from Jordan.
That's the tattoo stories, too, that I was going to get into. I'm fucking fired up. We did this one early today, so I just drank a bang before this.
Let me touch on the
okay, sorry.
On the old people driving.
I'm on a rant.
There's a lot of people I have that their goal is to get back to driving, or they say, when do you think I'll be able to drive again? I'm like, well, you have cataracts, you are 80-something years old, and you don't have any good coordination in your entire body.
Yeah, you're not going to drive.
Like, you're not going to drive, and if you do, you're not going to be safe while you're out there driving. There's a reason your doctor said don't drive anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know, old people, they still do it. They'll go against doctor's words just to drive.
Yeah, and also, just to be clear, I know I'm going on this rant and being very mean to people. I work in a field with the intellectually disabled.
I thought you were going to say enchiladas for a second.
I also eat a lot of those. I should have a job in enchiladas.
I work in the field with
I know them well.
enchiladas.
I should be in the field. I'm probably an expert. Shout out to enchiladas, whoever, whatever I got to do.
Shout out enchiladas.
Yeah, peace.
Taco Factory.
Peace, love, and enchiladas. Sponsor. But I work in the field with the intellectually disabled. So patience is a strong suit for me. I'm very understanding when it comes to people not being able to do certain things. But guess what? They're not driving vehicles.
Yep.
There's plenty of them that are in the right mind to be able to do it, but they know that they're not going to do it. They know it. So to me, it's when you're going to drive like that and you get behind the wheel and you're like, well, I have to go to my appointment or I have to go to Walmart to get that's fine. I get that. But if you cannot do it on your own, there is plenty of people around here that will help you get your fucking prescription.
Mm-hmm.
And your insurance probably covers it.
Yep.
Or the majority of it. I mean, at what point, so you're going to a store or to a doctor's office for your health to not die, to keep you alive. When you drive like that, when you drive that slow too, it's almost just as dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I had a lady one time, she came in for physical therapy, and I was talking to her, and she's like, well, on the way here, I dozed off and woke up in the ditch on the other side of the road. And I was like, what the fuck, lady? And I was like, well, best of luck getting home. I had to document all that in my notes and stuff, make sure someone knew she wasn't out there.
Mm-hmm.
Driving like that, because I think it was her pain pills that were making her fall asleep, or she wasn't sleeping at night because of the pain and she didn't have any pain pills. Whatever it was, just man, old people don't care.
Well, you know what it is? It's the thought process that all of us are going to have when we get old. Is I've been doing this for longer than you've been alive, so how are you going to tell me? And that's fine. And especially for older men, I feel like the ability to drive, you're taking a lot of what they have left. Mm-hmm. If they can't drive and do things, if they can't do that on their own anymore, then it's debilitating for them. And I understand that. I get it.
So sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
My grandpa was going to the end of the city to see my grandma and went over on a curb because she fell and broke her hips. She's in the hospital. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And so he was driving into town to see her and ran up on a curb and popped his tires and then didn't have the strength
to change
the tire anymore. And it's just part of being older, which I'm not being ageist or whatever, ageism.
Yes.
Ageism. But I mean, it's just your body can't do what it used to do, and it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay that it can't.
Yes.
Nobody's judging you for that. Nobody even thinks of it.
And your grandkids and who I don't know, probably don't have a lot of old people. Go tell your grandpa he's still a superstar. So I spit everywhere.
Still Superman.
Go tell your grandpa he's still a superstar and you still think he could kick your ass and go let him know, because
challenge him in a fight and let him win.
He's starting to lose. Eventually he's going to start losing hold of shit.
Yeah.
And he needs to know that he's still the man. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. All these people that are out, all these old people that are getting into shit because they think that we don't know what we're talking about. It's because they're not.
It's a pride thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let them know that they whatever you got to do. But that's what makes people like us that are in the field of care different than others. Mm-hmm. Because it's not your fault if you're not doing that. I just think a lot of people aren't aware of it, and I just want you to look after G-Paw too, man. He's got your back. Have his back, and tell him to quit fucking driving and stop impeding the left lane. It's for fast cars only. Get to the fucking right, granddad. Get to the right and learn how to use your smartphone. Tell your grandpa to learn how to use his smartphone, so when poor Trent's grandpa fucking almost wrecks on the side of the highway, he probably doesn't know how to use a phone.
He called the Lyft app. He lived in Amarillo too, so it's not like he couldn't get the Lyft app to take him somewhere.
Yeah. Tell your grandpa too that you don't care that he doesn't know how to use the phone, that you don't care, that he's going to have to figure it out, because the country doesn't care that he doesn't know how to use a smartphone. They're still going to fucking X factor out all the other bullshit that he wants to use. No one uses rotary phones anymore, Grandpa. And if your phone doesn't have touch screen capabilities, then fucking punt it into the lake for the trout or whatever goes in lakes. Bass. Well, I don't fucking know.
Close your flip phone. Throw it away.
Yeah. Frisbee your razor into the fucking fireplace and get an iPhone and learn how to use it. Blind people can use it, Grandpa. Blind people can use iPhones. You can fucking use an iPhone. Have it for you for your own safety, and so young people like us aren't panicking every time you drive a car and think that you're going to fucking crash into a ditch and you don't even know how to use your fucking phone because you're 100. Learn how to use your phone, 100-year-old. You made an accomplishment. Look what you've done. You're the oldest person in your family. You deserve an award for that. If you can do that, you should be able to learn how to use a fucking phone.
Yeah, that's true.
So tell your grandpa to listen to this. Only if he likes cussing, though. If he does, it's going to hurt his feelings, and I'm sorry.
It's not modest enough. It's not the conservative way of things.
Yeah, and I have tattoos. They're probably not even listening. Oh, look at this.
Look at this rebel. He's probably a silly guy.
Moving here to Oklahoma, actually, and having tattoos is what has led me to have such distaste towards the elderly, toward the geriatric community. Tattoos has done it. I've never gotten... Now, apparently, I also didn't know this, that tattoos have just recently, within the last, 20 years has been legal in the state of Oklahoma to get tattoos or to have a tattoo parlor. Not to have them on your body, but to get them in Oklahoma. It just became legal like 10, 20 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that I understand. And we're in the Bible Belt, I understand that. I'm not going to go over a full-length pass through all the tattoos I have, but none of them are explicit or derogatory. I don't have any titties on me or guns or gang-affiliated tattoos. I don't have anything like that. It's just the fact that I have them on my skin, and I'm not a small man. I'm a pretty large fella. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into Walmart here with my kids, just me and my kids, and had people looking at me like I kidnapped those kids.
Oh my God.
And I've even had old people straight up like, why do you have, like, I had an old lady one time come up and finger flick my fucking arm and go, what do you got all that on you? I'm all, excuse me? Now, hold on. Let me explain a little something to you about old Jordan, old JoJo over here. Oh. I don't do very good. No, I was raised red hot by a Latina mother. I don't even know if she is how Latina she is. I don't even know if she is that much. But
138.
She's got the fire of a Latina woman. And that's how I was raised. And I'm very respectful to people. But I will not be pawed at by your old wrinkly sausage Skeletor finger flicking the back of my tricep in disappointment in the tattoos that I have. I will not stand for it. And I hope that's clear. And I told this woman, and I even did those of you watching, first of all, do not touch me, is what I said to this lady. And she put her hand over her bosom in disgust. And I said, all of these tattoos I have on here tell a story about who I am. And, what I went into the whole thing. I'm not even going to bore you with it. At the end of the discussion, she said, wow, I didn't know that that's what tattoos were. She didn't know. She thought tattoos straight up just meant that you were a criminal or gang affiliated.
You can only get them in jail.
Yeah. And you know what else? This is my last story with tattoos. That's the end of that one. I turned that old lady around. I also was on the way to the Oklahoma City Zoo with my kids and wife in the Jeep driving. Cop pulls up next to me. I'm in the right lane on the highway on the 40. Cop pulled. Oh, the neighbor's
Welcome home.
Yeah.
Welcome home. Hope your day at work was good.
But the cop pulls up next to me in the fast lane, looks in the window. I'm wearing a tank top. And I have my hand on the top of the steering wheel. Whatever. Shouldn't be anything. Cop looks at me. I make eye contact with this gentleman. He slows down and gets behind me in the right lane. So I got over to the left thinking he wanted to pass me. And he pulled me over for an illegal lane change. Apparently, I'm supposed to wait 100 feet, have my blinker on, which is a real law. I get it. The reason he pulled me over for is valid. I understand that. It's what happens after. So I pull off to the side.
Did he break the law by getting in behind you?
He slowed down and pulled directly behind me.
So there wasn't 100
I knew he was going to pull me over, but I was playing like, oh, let me get out of your way. And that's when he pulled me over. I knew he was going to pull me over as soon as I made eye contact with him. I had California plates at the time too, so I understand what's happening, why I'm being pulled over. I'm a tattooed guy. I have a vehicle with California plates on it, and I'm driving in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm not breaking any laws. I'm doing the speed limit. I did maybe impede. I don't know. Whatever. So he pulls me over. He comes to the passenger side window, which is Amanda's side. He rolls the window down. He goes, before anything, he goes, can you step out of the vehicle? And I said, yes, of course. So I, got out of the car, and I go to the back. And the first thing he says to me is he's like, where are you headed? And I said, I'm going to the zoo. I'm taking the kids to the zoo. And he's like, okay. And he's all, you done any jail time before? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, what you just did.
Me. Well,
eye thing you just did, if you're watching, that eye thing you just did where you looked down at my arms, that's exactly what he did.
Because he was probably going to say, don't lie to me, I'm about to pull you up.
Well, that is what he said. He said, he said, the tattoos is why, the tattoos look suspicious, is what he said. And I asked him, what tattoo looks suspicious? And he's all, it looks like you have a spider web on your elbow.
Spider's full.
I don't have a spider web on my elbow. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the guy did there.
It's the light of God.
But it's not a spider web. And even if it was a spider web, so what?
What if you like Spider-Man?
Spider webs have nothing to do with gangs.
What if you like Marvel? What if you like comic books?
Yeah, what if I like fucking Spider-Man, guy? Anyway.
This is Peter Parker, bro.
So he pretty much tells me he pulls me over because he thought I looked whatever. And I had to get all the way to the end of the thing where he's like, okay, I just wanted to let you know you pulled over. But I had to ask him for it at the end. Like, I was like, can you tell me why I got pulled over or whatever? And he's like, oh, he like acted like, oh, you got to wait 3 lines with your blinker on before you can get over. I was so mad, bro. I'm like, so why am I back here? Are you writing me a ticket?
Who's out there counting lines whenever you're driving down the road? What the fuck?
Why don't you just say, hey man, you had tattoos that I thought looked suspicious. That's why I pulled you over. Me personally, I'd rather you do that. I'm not a liberal asshole. I'm not going to attack you for something like that. That's fine. I have tattoos. I understand the consequences. Mm-hmm. My thing is I don't like when people are like pussies about it.
Yeah.
Just fucking, just even if you're
if
old.
That's what you did.
Like, hey man, you know,
that's what you
did. Yeah. I get it. I have them.
There was a classmate of mine who had full sleeve tattoos. Great guy. But
of course,
he had
tattoos.
Yeah. Not because of tattoos, but he had to wear long sleeve shirts everywhere he went to clinicals.
Yeah.
Just because we work with a lot of old people, so they automatically think they don't know what to think when you show up with tattoos.
Yeah, I do too. Every clinical.
And
shift.
he and I both had super long hair, and our teacher was like, we were seeing who could grow their hair out the longest. It was over like a 2-year period. Our teacher was like, he came in here and he goes, guys, you're about to start clinicals, and I don't want to point anyone out, but some of you look like you were on the show Sons of Anarchy. And I had like a pretty fluffy beard at the time and super long hair, and he's like, namely some people on the front row. So obviously he's talking to us. There's like 14 of us in there.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh no, I like Sons of Anarchy. I like that show.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm like, well, we're kind of past that.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about me and you that has been brought to my attention?
Do tell.
We spend a lot of time on here talking about how, you know, people are too sensitive and also people are too conservative, which is, I just want to be clear that we're telling these stories of ignorance that has been expelled upon us, which might sound a little liberal coming out of our mouths, but that's not what we're doing. We're trying to, does that make sense? The way that we're telling the story of old people judging us for having tattoos.
If you're in the middle.
Yeah, she's doing deadlifts.
Power cleans. You got to drop the weight.
You got to.
When you get it up here, you just go. Hey!
Save your back. It's not worth it.
Yeah. No eccentric motion is needed.
Yep.
We're kind of in the middle where conservatives don't like cussing, but we're borderline offensive enough where liberals will be like, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, my goal with this podcast with us is to be the podcast where, you know, I want it to be where you might have to maybe tell the person that's going to listen to it, like, hey,
this may not
they
be for
might
you.
say the F word a lot, and they're probably going to talk about dicks and buttholes and whatever.
And they support gays.
Yeah, we support everybody, dude.
Yeah.
I support everybody. Just because I have negative things to say about your driving doesn't mean I don't fucking like you. It has nothing to do with who you are as a person. It's that decision that I don't fucking appreciate.
I think people get angry at having conviction, because if you're telling them like you're a shitty driver because you do this, they're gonna be like,
yeah,
and they're gonna be upset about it. But I think the problem is that they're so offended that you told them what's wrong with them that they feel bad, and so they just don't want to deal with it.
Well, it's oftentimes I feel like that happens with people who haven't played sports before.
I'm so easy on people who haven't played sports, man. Like,
you have to be.
I get it.
Because those are the people
they're
that
not going to come back. They won't come back and play if you just...
Right. But those are the people that... Even when you say something about regular life shit to them, if you say something about regular life shit to me that I'm doing wrong, like if you're like, hey man, you interrupt me too much, I'm not going to play the victim.
No.
I'm going to go, fuck, dude, yeah, you're right, man. That's my fault. I apologize. Like, I feel like sports really is what, you fucking suck at that. Like, you guys can't make fucking free throws, so we're going to run until you figure it out. That being told that you're not good at something, being drilled to get better. That's the only reason a coach does that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that. They don't understand that there's a such thing as actual constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And people will walk around all the time. Oh yeah, no, I take it fine. Go ahead. Tell me how you feel. And then they're, well, I never thought about it. And it's like, well, do you want me to say how I feel? Or do you want me to sugarcoat it? 9 times out of 10, you got to sugarcoat it first. Unless you're talking to a real G like me or you, and you're like, hey bro, let's do this, dude. Tell me what you're saying. Because we're friends. I want you to just tell me. Don't fucking. I
have a funny story about the. Oh, that's just that.
Okay.
So my first wife.
Sorry about my cup.
Her and I had just started dating, and my mom is really athletic. She has a good jump shot. She can play fucking racquetball and is very good hand-eye coordination. Mm-hmm. My ex-wife, she was in musicals and a singer and had no idea what hand-eye coordination even was.
Yeah.
So I took her to play racquetball with us one time, and we were playing like twos. I was like, you can be on my team, that's fine. And she just kept missing the ball with a fucking racket that's like this, and I was like, hit the ball! And it made her cry.
Yeah.
And at that time I didn't realize she had never played any sport ever.
Yeah.
Just because she was like an artsy, like theater type person who just had never done it.
Yeah.
And I felt so terrible. I've never felt more bad in my life about something because she cried and left.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, So
ever since then, I was like 19 when that happened. So ever since then, I've been more about teaching than just expecting people to know things.
Yes.
If you don't expect people to know things, you can't be disappointed or let down or frustrated whenever they can't do something.
That's a big reason why I kind of wanted to make a jump over to coaching. And I did it at a younger age. I started coaching sports, but I wanted to do that because I kind of figured out I turned it into a psychology thing, the criticism thing. Mm-hmm. So, and because when I played basketball, I was often one of the smaller players. I had to have that floor general attitude where I might be small, you might be bigger or stronger, but you're going to hear me. I'm going to be loud. This is still my team, and these dudes know it. And I had to build that relationship with them through constructive criticism by not being afraid to pull them aside and be like, hey man, your free throws are hurting. I'm only saying that because I'm your teammate. I want to win games. You want to win games. Let's stay after and shoot some free throws. I'll shoot them with you. Or let's come in early tomorrow. Or, it's the weekend. We don't have practice anyway. Let's go to the park and play. I was always pushing and always bugging to play ball, which I loved anyway. I wanted to play all the time, and if I can get people to play with me, that was my main focus. But also I made a point to invite teammates that I knew were struggling in certain areas and get them to play more. The moral of the story is that's how you get better. If you don't want to shoot more free throws or whatever, that's fine, but just get on the court and play. Get the form right. Get your jump shot right. Get whatever you got to do. And that's why I loved playing at the park as a kid, because it's like you play to 13 and then it's a new game. Mm-hmm. You played like shit that game, whatever. We sit out because we lost. Get on the court, get on an off court where no one's at, work on whatever you think you need to work on, and let's go get the next one. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel like with me and you are. I feel like the day that comes where we do finally get to play a real game.
Oh, a softball game.
Dude, I don't care if it's softball, if it's basketball, I don't care what it is.
We've been trying to play since September.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. But I know that me and you are similar when it comes to our talent. We play the same
prep.
positions. We play the same style. Apparently, we even play the same style of basketball. We just found that out.
Driving dish, that's all I do.
So, but I know that because we're like that and we play similar positions and we have that attitude towards each other, that understanding. I know in softball, if you're playing third quarter and a couple ground balls get past you, I know you're going to be hard on yourself already, but I know I can still come up to you and be like, hey man, I'm going to go to third next inning. You're going to move over to short. I know that in your brain, you know that.
Yeah.
You know why that's happening.
With it. Yeah.
You know why it's happening, and I don't have to tell you. We don't have to discuss it.
I'm not going to yell at you and be like, why?
Right.
Why? I'm great over there.
And I know that I don't have to tell you, hey man, you missed like 3 ground balls, so I'm going to go to third. I know I can just come up and say, hey, I'm going to play third next inning. I already know that you know that that's what that means. Mm-hmm. Because you've had constructive criticism since you were a child. Other people don't have that. So I try to relate that to normal life stuff, even when it's like, hey man, at work, like, hey, your job is to sweep and mop the back, or whatever your job is. Your job is to do the back, clean. Mm-hmm. You have to do it. I didn't know. No one told me. I didn't know. It's like, well, okay. I'm telling you now, though. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, well,
why are we doing? Why
here's
are we
the instructions?
Yeah. Why are we going up? Why are we escalating?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. And then I go, oh, You've never been screamed at in your face by somebody who just wants you to get better, and is so frustrated with you to the point where they care about you and want you to be good so bad, but you're not doing it, to the point where they're screaming in your face. That's what coaching is. That's what constructive criticism is. I've reached the end. I cannot be nice to you anymore. I'm done. Figure it out. I'm not doing it to you to be mean, but you're why we're losing. What are we going to do? I will practice with you. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Work with me. It might come off harsh to people, but I feel like that's what leaders do. That's the difference between a boss and a leader. A boss will just replace you.
Yeah. You got to be willing to teach people.
You suck, you're gone. See ya. Yeah. I'll get a new guy and I'll teach him how to do it, and I'll start from zero. When I know that if I know your intentions are good, even if when it comes to sports or it comes to a job, if I know your intentions are good, this is what you want to do, I'm going to work with you, but you have to be willing to hear me tell you that you're bad at this. This is what we need to do.
And there's nothing wrong with you. You should be able to take criticism, even if that's what sports teaches you, is that when you have a job later on in life and they're saying, hey, we need you to get better in this area.
Yeah.
You should be able to adapt and do that. And I've had people be like, well, I didn't play sports and I'm fine. But they're the people that get upset about the smallest things.
Yeah.
Like when someone says something to them, they can't handle getting grilled a little bit. They can't handle, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Adversity.
Struggle.
Every team you've ever played on, there's been teams better than you.
Oh, yeah.
You've played on teams that full of scrubs. Everybody's played on a Bad News Bears style of team and has built that team up to a winning team against all odds. Any athlete has done it. Maybe not all. Maybe not like LeBron James or those people who just get to play around greatness all the time. Some of us played around freaking dudes that like lived in 1-bedroom apartments with 4 kids, and basketball is all they have, and they're not good at it, and they're trying to get better. You know, those type of people are the people I want to follow. That's
how our town was with football.
Yeah.
If you didn't have anything else, at least you had football.
Like, that's why I don't really like the Ball family. Lonzo Ball, Melo Ball, Jello Ball, LeVar Ball. I don't like them.
The Mongelo?
It's not because...
Lemon Jello.
Yeah, I know. Is that his name? No, it's D.
No.
Is his name with an L? LaMelo, Lonzo, and
D'Angelo?
No. Is it?
I don't know.
Is he the only one without an L?
I've only watched one episode.
Anyway, the reason I don't like them is because I don't feel like there's been enough struggle for them. They haven't really... I mean, I'm not saying they didn't practice every single day, but they had
It's a different thing when you have confidence instilled at you at a young age that you're going to be great. Whenever you don't have a father figure or someone who's around, and you're just like, well, I hope I'm all right.
Yeah.
I hope I do okay in this game. You can only think like a teenager because that's the only age you've made it to.
Right.
So if you don't have someone telling you, hey, you're really good at this, this is what to do, you're just like, I hope I do okay.
Well, and also...
Am I good enough? That's what my problem always was.
Well, there's also a difference, too, of they were told that that's what they're going to do. You're going to play basketball. Your brother plays basketball. I played basketball.
Almost like an Asian family, but with basketball.
Right. I have a
You be doctor.
I have a company.
You be lawyer.
Yeah. And their dad had Big Baller Brand before they even were professional athletes. So their dad was in the business before them.
You be violin player.
Yeah, exactly. Or you
cello.
Yeah, you don't play basketball, Jeremy Lin.
You do math?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of someone who overcame adversity,
his parents,
Jeremy Lin was not allowed to play basketball.
His parents hated him so much he had to grow dreadlocks out of fucking spite.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
he's as old as we are and still going through the rebel phase with his parents.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking those gentlemen as people or as athletes.
No.
I'm just saying I want to follow the guy who didn't even have a court in his driveway. The only way that dude can play basketball, he had to grab his basketball, walk to the park, and play fucking basketball. I didn't even have that. I had a hoop in my driveway. I wasn't the Ball family. I had a hoop in my driveway, but I didn't, We had the hoop where the backboard never stayed
The backboard was never good, so you could just hit the backboard and it would kill the ball and just fall right in.
It'd just die. Yeah.
It was like black and gray, and then blue was kind of mixed in there.
I think I had the same backboard.
Bro.
Yeah, I had the same backboard.
It was plastic. I didn't get the fiberglass backboard.
No, hell no. I had the plastic black backboard, black rim, the rounded one too. The one that wasn't even a square; it was the rounded. Yeah, I had that too.
And the pole came straight down from underneath it.
I told them make sure it has a single rim. I don't need none of that double rim bullshit. Give me a single rim hoop. That's all I cared about.
Isn't there like a lot of double rims on the West Coast though?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why you get all those really great shooters from the West Coast.
Every park I've ever played at.
Because you have to be able to shoot.
Yeah, every park I've ever played at had a double rim.
Yeah.
And the park I played at the most, Miles Square Park, they had kind of similar to the rim we had today, but it didn't have the second. It was just the single rim with the thick part that the net attaches to underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And those rims had been dunked on so many times, and they had metal backboards. But they had been dunked on so many times that they kind of had a little bit of a bounce to them. That was a good one. Oh, that was from the deep gut. Did you guys hear that? The first rumble?
I haven't even drank any wine for the last 20, 30 minutes.
Oh shit, dude! I got wine in the refrigerator. Well, we're almost done.
We're done. We're basically
done. I already forgot the story. Anyway, that's how this show goes. I'm in the middle of a story and forgot. I'm just talking to hear myself talk. Anyway, let me just end it on this. I'm going to try to end it on some positivity. Here's the difference between a leader and a boss. A leader leads from the front, right? Taking bullets too. I'm shooting my gun too.
By example.
I got the same helmet as you. I'm the quarterback. I'm taking snaps. I'm getting hit in the helmet just like you are. We're playing the game. I guess I should use a defensive player because now the NFL is soft. Safety or linebacker, right? That's a leader.
The mic.
I'm gonna lay wood just like you. Basketball, same thing. I'm the point guard. You're the center. We're both equally as important. You can lead down there. I'm gonna lead up here. Leader leads from the front. A boss sits back, points their finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a boss. For some reason, hip hop made the word boss cool. Bosses are whack. Be a leader.
Bosses are whack. That's what's going to be the thumbnail for this video.
Bro, if you introduce yourself to me as the boss, I work at so-and-so, I'm like the manager, or the words like manager, just be like, I work here. This is what I do. I'll let other people tell you what my position is. I don't need to walk around and tell you that I'm the boss.
Yeah.
That's not what bosses do. They'd be like, hey, did you meet the boss, Jordan? And your answer should be like, Jordan's the boss? I didn't even know that guy was the boss.
He gets his fingers dirty.
That's a leader,
He's
bro.
He's in there putting in some elbow grease.
That's a leader. Anyway.
I get that. You're doing it all, man. Keep it going.
Thanks, guys.
That's perfect.
We love you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.